Danny Flexen here for Seconds. Boom, one for the blooper reel. Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by Sam Jones from Probellum, of course, here in the capacity of Troy Williamson fighting Josh Kelly. Huge fight December 2nd. And I guess, first of all, and I know Adam Booth is in earshot, were you at all surprised that Josh and his team decided to take this fight?
I think in this day and age, you're surprised. Like it's a fight that everybody wanted to see that's happening. So I mean, in the boxing world today, there's a lot of fights that aren't happening. So you got to give credit to both guys. Yeah. I am asking the guy. I just said, listen, both guys. Now he's gone. We can speak. Now he's gone.
So you thought Josh would be scared?
No, listen. I was a little bit surprised because Josh could have probably gone a different way. Troy could have gone a different way. But as I say, as soon as the fight was circulated by the board, Troy was ringing everyone to ensure the fight. He did what he could to make sure the fight happened. So credit to Troy.
How important a fight is this for both men in terms of where they can go should they win?
Massive. I mean, listen, Troy's back's been against the wall in fights before. He's faced adversity before. He's got up off the floor. He's been in he's never in a boring fight. Josh has won all of his fights comfortable except one. So I think there is a bit more pressure on Josh to win this fight than there is Troy, because the expectation of Josh when he turned pro was so high because of his natural talent. I've seen Josh in the gym. He's supremely talented, but I've not seen him put together a complete performance, if that makes sense. And as I say, that's what his trainer would expect of him. It's what he'd probably expect of himself, but he's not yet showed us. He showed glimpses of brilliance, but he's not probably showed it. Yes, but then again, as I say, like he's fought. I don't know, the Avanesian fan. What can you take from that? He showed a lot of balls in that fight. He would have, as I say, the tide was turning in that fight. So I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting fight. But one thing's for sure, Troy's never in a boring fight, so he will be bringing the heat.
Can Troy take much from that fight, particularly in terms of confidence if things aren't going his way early on?
I don't know. I mean, I've said it numerous times. I think Josh has got a window to win this fight, and he's got to get him out early, in my opinion, because the longer the fight goes on, Troy gets fitter, stronger, and you saw in like the Cheeseman fight, he was getting stronger and stronger as the fight was going on. So it's a very interesting fight, very good clash of styles.
And elsewhere on Planet Pro Vellum, you've got a big show in Sheffield. Sonny Edwards headlining, defending his title. I might be coming to fight week. I don't really do the weekends, but I might be coming to fight week. Reunite with my old pal.
Yeah, it's a great night of boxing, that is. Look at the fights on the show. There's some quality fights in there. A lot of 50-50 fights in there. Sonny's in a hard fight as well, make no mistake about it. I think because of how brilliant Sonny is, people think, oh, it's just a route. No, it's a tough fight for Sonny, this is. I mean, all the fights that are being mooted for afterwards, they have to be left on the back burner here. Sonny's got a job to do, and I'm confident he'll get it done.
And talking of tough fights, what's your view on Tyson Fury going in with Dereck Chisora for a third time?
Listen, I don't want to like bash the fight, but it's not what anybody wanted to see. It isn't. If you asked any boxing fan on the street, what fight do you want to see Tyson Fury in next? Not one person would say Dereck Chisora.
From your perspective as a promoter or from that side, why is it Chisora? Why couldn't it be someone else who maybe is still expected to win, but not someone he's already beaten twice?
I don't know. I just think it's very hard because Tyson's at the elite level, right? Joshua was out of the picture. It's a shame they couldn't wait another month and make the Joe Joyce fight, or I don't know. I even think someone Andy Ruiz. I know he's fighting Wilder, but that fight's not happened yet. I honestly think if they would maybe have reached out to Ruiz, he would have been interested in that fight. It's a world heavyweight title fight, not an interim fight, a title fight, or an eliminator with Wilder. This is a legitimate world title fight with Tyson Fury. I don't know, but maybe it was because it was easy. The fight was easy to make. Dereck's a big name. He wanted to give his mate a payday. I've always known that. Like Tyson said it. You only got to look back at interviews. Tyson said he wants to give his mate a payday. I hope Dereck Chisora is earning a fortune in this fight. Good luck to him. I'm not personally that interested in it, but good luck to them.
And they said they've sold 50,000 tickets on the first day. I'm guessing a lot of those have gone to secondary ticket sites. Do you think they can have an actual sellout on the night?
Yeah, Tyson Fury is a massive name. He really is. He's a household name. People want to see him, and the hardcore boxing fans know what the fight is, but the kind of casual kind of fans who kind of think, oh, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, they don't, they're not, they just want to go and watch Tyson Fury and watch the ring walks, which I'm sure it'll be spectacular. I'm sure it'll be a great event, and like I say, I mean this, good luck to them. I'm not personally interested in the fight because I think it's just going to be one-way traffic, but good luck to them, Danny.
And then Anthony Joshua, we talked about that fight falling through. It now seems he's going to sit out for the rest of 2022. Do you think that's the right call?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have seen him come back probably in December, like in not a keep busy kind of fight, but just maybe Zhang, someone like that. Go and fight Zhang, somebody like that. Get a knockout under your belt, get feeling good again, then head into the new year feeling good, confidence high, then have your rematch with Dillian White, then fight hopefully the winner of Fury Usyk, Joe Joyce, and be involved in big fights again, because people bash Anthony Joshua. He's lost 3 times in his career, once to Ruiz, which nobody predicted, and twice to arguably the best fighter in the world. So you've got to give Anthony Joshua some credit. He's got a brilliant resume. I'm sure he'll come back, but he needs a confidence booster.
When he does come back, who do you think will form the training team now?
I have no idea, Danny. I have no idea. I mean, like what I said, I don't want to, like, I don't know. I've met Angel Fernandez a few times. I don't know him personally, but I've met him a few times. I've actually had dinner with him years ago when Linares was over in London. Like, we all kind of went to dinner. He's a good guy. He's done well for himself. And Joshua, who is not a stupid man, must see something really good in him. But don't employ Garcia to train you if you've got this man training you. If you don't trust Angel Fernandez, get rid of Angel Fernandez, train with Garcia. If you don't trust Garcia, train with Angel Fernandez. Do you know what I mean? That is one cook in the kitchen for me, Danny.
And we've talked about Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn so much, you almost became the official correspondent for the fight. And then it never happened. But I'm not saying you're a jinx or anything, Sam, but yeah. What have you made of the whole situation with the fight getting postponed, and now all the talk about it since, particularly Ben's team talking about clearing his name, apology as loud as the disrespect obviously he put on Instagram as well. What do you make of all that?
I don't know, like, it's taking a long time. Like, if like what I've said over and over, and I swear to God I mean this, I hope Conor Benn, it comes out that he's completely innocent. Because right now it looks as though to the average man on the street that you've cheated. But if you haven't cheated, I apologise. I apologise for even using that word. But right now it looks like you've cheated. It's like there's a crime scene, your fingerprints are all over it. Prove your innocence. Like, it's taking a long time, and I hope he does. But if not, there has to be a ban in place, a substantial ban in place. Like, boxing has to do better. And I think the whole situation wasn't handled the best, but it wasn't. I was nothing to do with it, so I don't know the ins and outs. But from an outside perspective looking in, it wasn't handled very well.
And if you were in the position of Chris Eubank Jr.'s team, would you wait around for the rematch?
I'd pull him straight out. I don't care about how high the levels were, what people talking about, there's levels. I don't give a shit. The best level of drugs in you is 0. I don't want any drugs. Like, if I was looking after a fighter that I cared about, I would not let them get in a ring with someone who's been pinged for a drug test. And you can quote me on that for the rest of my life. Never.
But is that going forward as well? I'm not saying should he have put him in for Saturday, but if it's rescheduled, would you be in favour of that from Eubank's perspective?
If that was rescheduled and it was clear,
yes,
of course. Like that's if he's proven innocent, or what you're talking about, if he served the ban and then came back, and because if listen, it's like you can't. There's a lot of fighters, high profile fighters that have been picked for drug tests. Yeah, so you can't be, or because he's not my favourite fighter, I'm not going to talk about it. There's been a lot of fighters pinged for drug tests, Danny. They need to change the rules now to go forward, set a precedent and say, listen, if you're pinged for this type of drug, it's X amount of years. If you get pinged for this type of drug, it's X amount of years. If you get pinged for this type of drug, it's X amount of years. You need to have levels of bans, realistic levels. So when people say ban for life, that's probably what should happen, but it's never going to happen. So harsh bans. Like, if you've injected performance-enhancing drugs like Jarrell Miller, you should be banned for years and years. A life ban, but it's not going to happen. But that's just my opinion, Danny.
And Chris Eubank Jr., he wouldn't have wanted it to happen this way, but it seems to have come out of this more of a public favourite. Has your attitude towards him changed anyway?
Listen, met Chris a few times, and like you've not really seen this type of his personality come out, and it's coming out that he's a complete showman, isn't he? He's brilliant. He's been the way he acted in that build-up. He was the build-up of the fight. I thought he was absolutely tremendous, and it's almost a shame he's 33, because if he was a younger man, and because he's not been like, and as I say, the Silent Brothers, they've got him a big fight with Conor Benn, but like I'm talking about from the offset, he didn't have a Frank Warren or an Eddie Hearn backing him, consistently backing him. He kind of went off to Heyman, kind of went off, similar to Joe Joyce, if I'm perfectly honest. Like but we had to move Joe in that certain way. I know people say, it's talking about Joe, but I have to kind of compare it because we had to move Joe quickly because of his age. But it's almost a shame that Eubank's 33, because I think if he was a younger man, especially after coming off the back of this, he'd get some huge interest, and he's like a household name. I expect there to be like a lot of interest at whoever he fights next. I hope he gets a big fight.
As you brought Joe up, which is very uncharacteristic, what's next for him while he waits for that world title shot?
I don't know, Danny. I think Joe will fight. Joe being Joe, he won't just go down and fight an absolute nobody. He'll probably fight. I would like to see him in the ring with somebody like a Charles Martin, somebody like that next. Why he waits for his work. Joe's had like hard fights like Dubois, Parker. Like Joe can fight a top 10 guy. Because who else is going to be available? Ruiz is going to fight Wilder. It's availability, Danny. That's why when I say Charles.
Bacoli?
Yeah, but this is the thing with Bacoli, great fighter. So if that moron over there like says, why is he not fighting Bacoli? Because Billy has no understanding of boxing, none. It's frightening. Good coach, I'm going to give him that. He's a very good coach. But business-wise, I wouldn't trust him in charge of a guinea pig, let alone somebody's career. So he doesn't understand. Bacoli doesn't put bums in seats. Nobody.
But does Charles Martin?
Joe Joyce against Charles Martin does bigger numbers than Joe. Yeah, because Charles Martin has a big profile. That's just what it is. Bacoli needs to keep building his profile. Bacoli will get his chance because he's a tremendous fighter. He is. He's a tremendous fighter. But Joe will fight Bacoli when it makes sense. Joe will fight anybody. You know that. Surely you've seen by the way Joe is. Literally, if we rang and said, Joe, you fighting Bacoli? Yeah, no problem. But as like his manager, Adam, his job will be to make Joe the most money. He's 37. Against Bacoli, he's not making a load of money. Joe deserves a huge fight now. It's either someone like a Charles Martin, someone with a bit of commercial clout, or a big one against Usyk, Joshua, Fury. Something that he deserves. I'd like to see Joe against Andy Ruiz. Joe would batter Andy Ruiz. Trust me. Go through him like a train.
And just to round off, we've got your successor at S-Jam, Shane Watson, on our podcast tonight. Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, Shane.
Well, I was going to say, what words of advice from your experience at S-Jam would you give to Shane?
Just be yourself. Keep doing what he's doing. Keep being himself, and then he'll be fine. Because everyone's like, Shane can't be me, and I can't be Shane. Do you know what I mean? Just be yourself. Keep doing what he's doing. He's doing a good job.
Would you have reacted to Joseph Parker putting it on you?
I don't know. I kind of went through that with Bermaine Stern like 5.5 years ago, and like.
At least you know you couldn't catch her.
Yeah, that was true. But I actually bumped into him in Starbucks. Like looked, I was like, ran into him. Good guy to be fair, but no. It was quite funny to be honest. It was very, very funny the way Parker did. But I knew Parker was kind of joking. He was joking because Parker's demeanour is just not like that. It may have been Element thinking like you fucker, like you're having it now. You are. So listen, it caused a few laughs, didn't it? So fair play. Joe Parker's a great guy.
Good stuff. Sam, really appreciate it, mate.